Do you wish your teen was a little bit better with their time management? I have a concept and strategy that I teach students in the 10-week program and I work with students on continuously in Next Level Coaching. And that is to swap out this idea or this concept of time management and turn it into outcome scheduling for two reasons. Number one, time management is actually a bit of a vague kind of phrase or concept. Like, what does it really mean if we had to try and define it? And secondly, we can't actually manage time. We can't slow it down. We can't control it. We can't speed it up. Sometimes we want to slow it down. Sometimes we might want to speed it up, and we can't. It's really about how do we use that time and how do we do our tasks efficiently and strategically, not so that we're rushing them, but also so that they're not taking longer than they should. Because this is what I hear from so many parents of hardworking students, is that things are taking longer than they feel like they probably need to. And that might also be the case if you have a teen who is, procrastinating or not very motivated, and the whole thing just becomes dragged out. So here's what outcome scheduling looks like. We pick the thing that we're going to work on, and notice that even work on is a vague kind of wording for it. So we're going to get more specific about that. And we decide how much time we are going to allocate to it to get it done. And we decide that from the outset, and then we work to that rule that we've set for ourselves. So what might that look like? That might look like, okay, I have these 5 maths homework questions to do. I think I can get them done in 40 minutes. I set the timer and I work solidly for the 40 minutes without distractions. If I've got a timer on my phone, it's on airplane mode, and we get that done. What is the outcome? I have 5 questions completed. It isn't just, I'm going to do my maths homework tonight. I'm going to get 5 questions completed in 40 minutes. Let's say they've got 10 questions to do. We can break it down. 5 questions in 40 minutes, 5-minute break, or have dinner, come back, another 40 minutes, next 5 questions. Outcome scheduling. I've scheduled to have these outcomes in this time frame. It might be something much bigger than that. Let's say we've got to research for an assignment. Researching is one of those tasks that I see just gobbles up so much time. Students go down rabbit holes. We can all do it. So what is it we need to get out of that research? Do we need 10 solid sources? Do we need information, or do we need to get these 3 facts or these 3 pieces of information? Those are the outcomes. So 10 sources, or these 3 pieces of information are found. And then how much time are we going to allocate ourselves to do that? We've got to put a time limit on it. And then students will say to me, like, well, what if it goes over time? That's okay. It's not a disaster if it does, but then we get to actually reflect and evaluate a little bit. So I want students to think, okay, well, why did that take me longer? Is it because I got distracted and therefore wasn't working solidly actually for that amount of time? Or were there other things that came up? Did I realize that I didn't have everything I needed in order to complete that task? In which case, I needed to schedule another preparation task before I got started. It builds that awareness, and likewise it builds that awareness of like, no, I worked absolutely in the best way I possibly could and it still took me longer. That just informs us for next time when we're doing that next round of outcome scheduling, because we want to be doing this all of the time continuously. It just informs me like 2 hours for that research was not enough. I need to schedule 3 hours in order to complete, and I know now, let's say 10 sources, 10 solid sources. Because I now know it wasn't just a random amount of time that seemed to, take forever, maybe dragged on for days and days to do some research. We want to have outcomes scheduled. It increases awareness, not just in terms of what it takes to get certain tasks done, but also it really helps us to stay focused in that time, real focused work time. Not so that we can spend more time working, but so that we can get it done and we can spend time doing those other things that we want to do as well. So no more time management, get in some outcome scheduling. I'm Katie Jones, Great Transformation Expert. If you have any feedback on this, or you have a question around time management, I'm probably going to do a few blogs on this, I think, over the coming weeks. So please send me through your questions. I will be delighted to answer them on a future video. And until next week, have a fantastic week.